So cash flows, again, this kind of reverts back to the trust piece of it as well, but there's really two different ways that you see most administrators handle DOWC cash flows. And one is that there's a split monthly remittance. So the administrator will say, okay, look, I'm going to go ahead and collect the claims, my admin fee, any type of bills, and the clip fee, and that's going to be remitted over to the trust account. The administrator will take their fee. The claims, the claim reserves will go into, or the premiums will go into the claim bucket into the trust, and then anything that they expect to be future profit or profit will be put into a separate bucket in the DOWC bucket. The other way to handle it is that some administrators actually go back and just collect it all, just like they do with a reinsurance deal. They collect all the net remittance, and then they basically take out their portion, which again will be the admin fee, the clip fee, all different components, the claims, as well as the potential refunds, and then they'll turn around and remit back to the DOWC the excess. So those are kind of two different ways to handle it. And again, I think it's important when you decide to make that decision, or any dealer or any type of dealership group wants to make that decision, to make sure they understand how that's going to flow. Now, the reality of it is that sometimes those are system restrictions on why they maybe do those things the way they do it. Other times it may just be a way that they feel more comfortable in being able to maintain the funds. So again, it doesn't make one wrong versus right. It's really just a way to differentiate, or basically be able to process the whole types of business. Which, going back to what Marcus said, obviously with his group, some of those capabilities may be able to be handled outside of that scope, so they can be able to help with that cash flow kind of maybe stopgap.
Yeah, and Brian, to make that a little bit of a dialogue, I mean, that's one of the big things we found that we did in the last 2 years, was really supporting more of the second type, right? So if a dealer group, for instance, had some business in a DOWC, some business in reinsurance, or maybe some that was even in a retro, depending upon the mix, right? Dealership accounting per dealer didn't get bogged down. Right. They could actually just process the business. Now we've got the automated funding, which pulls it out of their account and sends it directly to the TPA with the automated deposits. There just seems like there's so many advantages of doing it the second way, right? As long as you got the automated systems to support it.
Right. Agreed. So the next slide really just is kind of a flow chart of how, the cash kind of goes. And you guys can see this, and ladies you can see this on the screen. But I mean, at the end of the day, what you're seeing that the dealership, remits the retail costs less the dealer commission to a TPA. And then obviously it goes from that TPA. They will hold on to the premiums. They'll actually, send the premiums to the DOWC, less the claims, less the admin fees, so forth and so on. So you're just seeing here kind of the overall blocks of the different pieces and how you plug and play, which to me, a picture speaks obviously 1,000 words. And so obviously people can see this. And then ultimately, once the owner of the DOWC, which is traditionally the dealer, you can see that once he wants to take a distribution, it comes out as a qualified dividend. And you can see there at this point in time, it's 20% plus additional for Medicare tax on the investment income. But long story short, I mean, again, it at least gives you kind of a flow of how things move through the different entities.